All right, hello everyone. So fast. I mean, you get before anyone else. The notification is quicker than anyone else. So interesting. Okay. All right. So let me just get started. I'm just going to jump procrastinating or prolonging or anything of the nature. But I'm going to tell you guys that this is definitely going to be a very insightful, a very, very intuitive, more than likely inspirational for some of you kind of reading. I guarantee it. You are never and not going to be bored. Okay, so let me just get it here. All right, so I just want to say today on Brain Food, we're breaking down one of the biggest misconceptions you were taught, said it mean fire. I mean, when I say hell, the word hell, what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say the word hell? What's the first thing that comes to mind? You always think and consistently think of fire, like fire, brimstone, the flames, the torture. I mean, because that's what they teach you, right? They teach you that in Bible school. They teach you that in church, but no one even took the time to even learn what hell even meant. You know, it was really strange. The closest description of hell, the closest has been very correct about a lot of things, except for the depiction of women, is the TV series Lucifer. The TV series Lucifer has been precise on so many things, especially the depiction of hell, because that's exactly how hell is. Well, if there's technically not a hell, but the word hell in general, the definition of hell. So, but that's not the original meaning at all. Okay, fire and brimstone and torture and flames are not the burning. Okay, the word wasn't about burning; it meant hidden and covered, cold, and shadowy kind of, or shoal, the grave, the pit, the cold underworld. It was Hades, the unseen realm. It was hell, but it's hell, like with one L. The covered place. That's what it meant. The very hell that came later, that was added. So today we're exposing how we're going to make hell fire and brimstone so we can scare the shit out of people. Like, if they don't listen to us, they were just burned in Dalmatian and I mean, they literally the truth. They weren't trying to tell you the truth, seriously. So they really prying on a lot of people ignorance. Now, before please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all. Please note that Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy. Okay, let's now that we got that out of the way. Okay, let's first talk about the opening of hell. What does hell mean? What does it say for many of us? This is definitely meaning of hell. Why did they make it so evil? You know what I'm saying? Why is the church lying to us as if we're freaking shocked now? We should just be literally open to the concept and the conclusion that the church lied to us for many, many, many years. And they're only there just to control the masses and to be some greedy parasites. But here's what we're going to go deeper. So tonight we're going to get going deep into a word you think you know, but the original meaning of hell was never fire. As I stated in the intro, it was cold, hidden, and covered. That's what the meaning of hell was. Do you see this picture here? This is what hell is. But it's more so in the state of mind, if that makes sense, not an actual place. They made an actual place so they can have a way to scare people. Like if you don't do what we say, you'll go to this cold place. But it's like a mental concept. It's in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for looking out, Andrew. Thanks for looking out. But it's more so in your mind. It's not so much as an actual place. But we'll dive deep into that a little bit more. Okay. They say it may be a place, but there's no one who's going to torture you after you die. I'm just going to torture from your nightmares and the things that you transpired. Yes, but it's going to be the torture from your own guilty conscience, not someone else doing it. Kind of like, what the TV show Lucifer. I mean, it was precise as hell. Seriously. Except for, devil is, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so here we are. Okay, here we are. We're going to really dive deep. I guarantee you're going to know what it means by the end of this live show. I guarantee it. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay. So let's talk about the linguistic receipts because we're going to definitely dive deep into that. Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. We have hell. What is it's actually called hell? Hell. You see, hell or heel. I've heard it pronounced several different ways. Hill, hell, heel, or heli. Okay, meaning to hide, to cover, to conceal. That's what it means. Okay, to hide, to cover, to conceal. Okay, the same root as helmet. It's like you wear a hat on your head or helmet for when you're on a bicycle or a motorcycle. That's what it means to hide, to cover and conceal. So you want to say, I ran the hell, hell, healing. That's the root it means. So anyway, so same root as hall, as in closed space, helmet, and heel and helen it means helmet. That's what hell is. But that's just it's a Proto-Germanic way of pronouncing it or rooted meaning of it. It's from a Proto-Germanic, so German kind of thing. And then we're gonna go to the Norse connection. Then there's the Norse connection. The Norse connection, Hel or Hel, the goddess of the underworld. Okay, not the god of the underworld or Anubis, who was just a mortician and a person who got the dead ready, but they turned him to a full-blown god. He wasn't a god. He was just a mortician or whatever you call those people who get dead bodies together for the viewing. Sorry, I forgot their title, but that's literally what the hell he is. Okay, he gets out the organs and he does all the organization when it comes to their bodies and the galls and the wrappings and the mummification. That's what Anubis was. They just turned him into a god. He didn't have no mystical powers or anything, but I guess you could call him the organizer of the underworld because that's kind of what he was. But he wasn't like where God Horus was designated to be or anything of the nature. But you understand a lot of these male gods and goddesses that they designate for the controlling of the underworld were originally replaced from females. So they were originally females. So it was the goddess of the underworld. Okay. He or Hel was the goddess of the underworld. Her ram was cold, misty, shadowy, and silent. not fire, not torture. Most women are not fire and torture. We're not evil. We don't do rebellious as they try to portray us in every goddamn movie. Even in the TV series Lucifer, they made his mother just rebellious person who causes all these plagues. That's because that's what the Bible taught, for women to be, disobedient and rude and always causing chaos and havoc. But that's not our true nature. Has never been our true nature. Now, chaos and havoc and torture has been heaped upon us, but not the other way around. So, yes, so it was about a goddess. Hel or Hel means the goddess of the underworld. It also means that in the Norse connection. Norse meaning, or Norse spelled is Norse. Just replace the H with the N. Okay. But it doesn't mean fire. It doesn't mean torture. Literally called Nephil. It's like Nephilim or Nephil. That's what they call it in terms of the woman. It's the mist cold realm. That's literally what it means. Nephil, which means the mist cold realm. This is the original hell. This is the original base rooted hell. Okay. Which means cold, covered, concealed, misty, shadowy, not fire and brimstone and torturing. Blah, blah, blah. It's like an emotion. It's like a covering. It's like a facade. Like I feel hell right now. I feel heat right now. I feel Nephil or whatever. I just feel like that right now because I'm cold and it's dark down here. Ugh. I mean, that's what I mean. That's literally what I mean. Not fire and brimstone and torture. It's not the Dante's fucking Inferno. No one died and made him just a paragon of the depiction of hell. Did he go there and come back? No, he just made that shit up. But or what he probably was taught from Christianity, I'm sure. I'm sure he definitely was influenced by that as well. Okay. Moving on here. So the Bible didn't say hell. Okay. So I'm just gonna break Sheol, Hebrew, and that literally Sheol or Sheol means, that's Hebrew, meaning the grave, the pit, the hidden place, cold, dark, silent. Everyone went there, good or bad. In Hebrew, that's what it meant, the word hell. But the meaning and the deep-rooted meaning has not changed. The deep-rooted meaning still right to this day, well, rooted meaning in general, still means cold, dark, shadowy place. So this thing, cold, dark, shadowy place, this darkness covered everywhere and shadowy and, stuff of that nature. So the meaning, the rooted meaning has then changed even when it goes to from Hebrew to Greek. It still didn't change. But remember, none of it means fire at all. Nada, nido, nothing. None of it ever meant fire. So we get to the Hades, which is the Greek. It means the unseen realm, the shadowy dim, not fiery or fiery or anything of the nature. This unseen realm, shadowy dim, not fiery. That's literally what the rooted meaning of hell means. Okay. And then we have Gehenna or Gehenna, which is another Greek word. And it literally means a literal valley outside of Jerusalem used as a metaphor for destruction. This is the only one with fire imagery. And even then, it's symbolic. So this means a literal valley outside of Jerusalem used for, torture. But it just means that when you go there, it's torture, like a state of mind or a state of being. Doesn't mean it's going to be fire or anything. Remember, that depiction was made up by the church, okay, later on by man. But that's not the original meaning of it. And then again, the Bible more than likely probably do describe it in original text before it got altered as the dark and, shadowy and just not a very nice place to be in the state of mind in general. And then we have the Tartarus, okay? The Tartarus is another Greek word, and it means mythological abyss. Not the Christian hell. It means a mythological abyss. That's what it means in Tartarus Greek, okay? So let me just dive deep a little here. So the English word hell was slapped on top of all four of these, even though none of them originally meant fury, torture, chamber, fire, brimstone. None of it ever meant from Greek. I just showed you Greek or Hebrew, all of it. I gave you all of these different languages that the Bible was originally meant, and none of it meant fiery, fury, hell, or brimstone. Just dark, shadowy, misty, not a very comfortable place to be in a state of mind or a physical place. It doesn't really matter. It's just in a state of mind or a physical place. That's what the hell it means. It does not mean fire and brimstone. So when the Bible, the original text was talking about hell, that's what it was talking about. It wasn't talking about whatever the hell this is. This is bullshit. So when you hear people testimonies said, oh, I had a dream, I had a premonition that I saw Whitney Houston, or I saw this person, and they were surrounded by fire and they were tortured and they are lying their asses off, or they probably hallucinated about whatever and just took all their learning from, church and things of that nature and just had a whole vision about it. Doesn't mean it was necessarily true or an actual premonition of meeting these dead people, or they went to another dimension itself and able to see these people torture. No. And I said this in the beginning on what happens after a person dies. They do have a choice to go to hell, which is the dark, misty, shadowy place, and to stay there and just have their thoughts and be in eternal sleep forever. Or they can go to their own perfect heaven where they're with their relatives or whoever the case may be. Or they can get reincarnated again if they have an option to get reincarnated. Generally, people get reincarnated when they still have unfinished business on earth and their spirit is not at rest. If their spirit is not at rest, they just keep getting reborn again over and over again. But if the spirit is at rest, they won't come back and get reincarnated again. Okay, so now that we have the four meanings of that, let's talk about, so where did the fire come from? Now, this is where, we need to really get deeper because it definitely shifts here. Okay, we learned about the Greek guitars, right? Which means punishment fire, but it's not punishment fire. First of all, you need to know the root meaning of fire as well. Okay, let's talk about the meaning of fire because that's definitely something we didn't need to learn, because fire doesn't mean what the hell they're saying either. Okay, fire means transformation. It means insight. It means vision. That's what fire means. So just want to point that out. So we have the Greek guitarist that came in later, which is punishment fire, but it's not fire in terms of fire like burns. Okay, I'm going to point that out. And then we have the Zoroastrianism. Okay, Zoroastrianism. We have that, which is fire's purification. Remember, I told you original fire means purification, transformation, insightful, vision. Yes. So then we have the Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism. Try to say that fast 5 times. Zoroastrianism. So we have that, which is what it means, fire and purification. And then we had a medieval Catholic art, fear-based imagery. Catholic goes in there and they just scare the shit out of people because they're not interested in saving souls. The Church of Christianity is interested in collecting souls. Souls is what they're interested in, not so much as saving, they're collecting. So we have this, the Rose Trend. This is AI, so if they misspelled it, oh well, it's AI. Okay, so we have the Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism is fire and purification. You light the fire and you ask for some kind of message. You see in the message always comes through the fire, because the fire is like a opening. It's like a burning of the dimension and matrix. Once the fire is lit, you're able to get a slow peak of the matrix, because matrix is literally around us. Matrix is the dimensions on top of dimensions, and a fire kind of break that transition between the dimensions. So you're able to seek answers through the fire. That people from other dimensions use fire to speak to you. Okay, fire is a good thing to eliminate enemies as well, because you just burn their names into the fire, which means just sending them off to another dimension. That's why fire is so powerful. Okay, just want to point that out. The Greek guitarist, which is the punishment by fire. Punishment doesn't mean, again, it does not mean burning in terms of sensation, physical pain. It means literally sending them through another like a mental state. That's what it pretty much means. Not fire in terms of burning. Please understand that. People don't know. Okay. All right. I'm going to point that out. And then we had the medieval Catholic Church. Yeah, medieval Catholic Church. As they always do, they try to scare you with all this bullshit here. Dante's Inferno, with the fire and being eternally tortured and crap. Yeah. Dante's Inferno, and it says torture, and you're gonna be just burned forever and ever and ever. If you don't listen to us or follow what we say, we're just gonna burn you because we just, I don't know, we just some evil goddamn people, and we don't have any physical evidence to back us up. But it is what it is. That's the Catholic Church being the Catholic Church, okay? And then we have, the church control, which is literally, okay, you gotta understand, Dante's Inferno, they literally made it the blueprint for modern hell. Even though he didn't even know the freaking root meaning of hell, because if he did, he wouldn't have came up with this stupid fucking thing. So he didn't even know the meaning of hell. So it was like, okay, so you trying to give us the meaning of hell, but your depiction of hell isn't even accurate as well. So what the fuck? So that's what that whole little shtick and literally bullshit come from. And then we have the church control trying to use Dante's Inferno to gain more souls and gain more followers by instilling fear. And the slave owners definitely used it. I mean, they put in there, you must listen to your enemies, pray for your enemies, never curse your enemies or your boss or anything of the nature. Always treat them well. Don't worry, when you die, you will see the pearly gates, and promise them stuff that, they have no guarantee that it's true or not. What the hell are you going to do though? You're fucking dead. So this is why they said it. There's no pearly gates. There is no marble, whatever. It's none of that shit when you die. Okay. When you die, you get hell, which is darkness, mystery, shadowy. Okay. That's unless you have unfinished business, you get reincarnated, or you can just walk around as a ghost stuck in between worlds. You do have your options to do that. A lot of people don't want to get reincarnated. Some people don't want to go into heavenly bliss and think about their family and create someone. Who the fuck knows? You do have your options, but none of it is what these are saying. Okay. I want to point that out. All right. So the punchline and the dynamic of what I'm saying here, the theory hell wasn't discovered. It was invented. It wasn't discovered because nowhere in hell no one was going to be able to confirm or say this is the actual place. It was invented by man. The depiction of hell that we know today was invented by man. It's not the actual depiction of hell. Now, the original hell was cold, as I stated. Remember I told you, Sheol or Sheol in terms of Hebrew, Hades, shadowy, hell, ice, Nephila or Nephel, mist, cold, the oldest Indo-European underworlds, winter realms. This is what hell. So just to sum it up, the TV series Lucifer, and you remember when Lucifer, when he went down there and Samuel, whatever the hell he called himself as well, when he went down to his hell, they had all these, shadowy, cold places. That was very accurate. That whoever did that TV series, that was accurate as fuck. That's literally how it looked. But it's cold down there, and it's shadowy, and it's dark, and it just whatever. So you go to this place after you die. If you did, you don't understand karma. People don't believe in karma. People think karma is just what we say, because rich people feel they don't get karma because they literally bought, manipulated, conned, killed, whatever they way into this financial bliss of endless abundance. But it was on so much pain and so much deception and so many lies. So therefore, at the end, it's like a collective memory. Okay. It's like all the bad shit that you did that you put aside for in the back of your mind, thinking it was never going to come back up again. That's bullshit, because we are in the matrix and it is going to come back up again. So if you're in the matrix here and you are collecting and you are doing all of these bad things and you're putting in the bottom of your jar and you're just shoving it away thinking it's over, and you're trying to top it off with good thing, like I fucked this person over, I screwed this person over, but I did something nice on top of it. So I'm just going to, cover that up with some panel or some flooring. Okay, good. And build a nice little life. Oh, okay, something happened, so I got to cover that up. Let me add another layer of, I don't know, paneling or something over it. Okay, cool. lay some more soil, fucked up soil. I mean, you just have all these layers of bullshit. Eventually, when your time to go comes, okay, and that karma and that bad karma that you dealt for yourself, because this is your mind, your body is a matrix, so everything is stuck in the memory card. That is definitely going to come back. You are going to see all that shit that you did, okay, and it's going to be dumped on you. Yeah, even the paneling and the cover-ups that you try to do with good deeds, all that shit's going to come back on you. They don't think it's not going to come back on you. And you'll know at the end, because you be literally sit there with all your memories. Because in order to get reincarnated, you're going to have to accept what you did. You can't, I mean, you have to accept what you did. You have to go in there with a clear mind. You can't get reincarnated with the old shit. Now, you can remember the old shit. Like these reincarnated kids, you remember it, but you can't enter in a new body unless you accept what you did. Okay? And you have to see it and you have to feel it. But that doesn't mean it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. It's going to feel like this. Yeah, it's going to feel like this. Cold, mystery, shadowy, because you don't have the essence of a soul anymore. You don't have the essence of any of that anymore, or I call the memory card, the spirit or whatever. You just a void at the moment, So it is cold mystery. It's no life in you at that moment in between what directions you're going to go. So while you're stuck in limbo, so to speak, okay, you are going to have to deal with all the shit that you've done. Okay, it's going to come back to freaking haunt you. Now, some people think, okay, I'm going to die and nothing's going to happen. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. You are going to deal with it, okay? Now, you can leave it on earth, and the ramifications of what you've done, especially if it's been so bad, your living descendants will reap those repercussions, because once you're dead, it's no longer being hidden anymore. So the bones are starting to surface from the soil. Your dirt is starting to be revealed. And we're in the age where that shit is definitely going to be revealed. I mean, the age of Aquarius she's the water barrier, but she's the air sign. So what water and air does cause catastrophic mess, tornadoes, tsunamis. So trust me, you can't keep it hidden. It's definitely going to come to the surface. And guess who's going to have to pay for it? Guess who's going to have to answer for it? For all the bullshit that you've done in the family that you built on a bullshit ass legacy, your thing is just solid. It's not going to be solid. They are going to have to pay for it. They're going to pay for that on earth, and then you're going to pay for it in death. Okay? And it's going to be like this. Not the sunlight, not the moon, not all the beautiful birds, just darkness. That's what it is. That's hell. Okay? That's what's going to be. Just want to give you a nice depiction of it. And actually, this is actually proven. Just want to point that out. So you might want to fill your life with good things. So you can have the option to create your own afterlife, to get reincarnated again and, live out if you have the option to do it. But you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it. You either want to stay in this dark place, deal with what you deal with, accept what you deal with, then get accepted into a new body, or you just stay in this dark place forever because you refuse to accept what the fuck you did. What it's going to be. Okay. So anyway, let's go to another version. Okay. So let's ask, why did they change it? Why? Why did they change it? I don't know. Because we already know fire is the new version. Ice is the old version. Okay. The old version, original version is what it actually is, not with the new crap that they're trying to push down our throats. Okay, so why did they change it? Okay. Well, we know fire is emotional. Remember, fire is a form of feeling. It's a transformation. It's a message. It's a portal to different dimensions. It's more of an emotion. It's more of a mystic. It's more of a magical place. It's not a physical burning, whatever you want to call it. So fire is emotional because it definitely answers questions. It definitely opens up the realm of sight, so to speak. They changed it because they want it to be terrifying. They want people to actually see it. Fire is visible. Fire is easy to weaponize because it's there. Okay. Because you can see it. So they use it as a weapon. Okay. Fire is definitely obedience. Okay, fire creates urgency because it burns. Okay, fire creates the fear of punishment. They're seeing this ram of fire here that definitely burns, and it's like we can probably tell people that they'll go to this place and they will feel this for eternal life or eternal death or eternal whatever, for eternity, I should have said, if they do not listen to what we say. This is where you want to go. They needed to find something that was definitely torturing, definitely scary, and definitely fear-based. So they chose this physical element to use to scare people, even though that's not originally what fire is for. The name fire, anyway. You know what I mean? You said, and you can't trust a lot of people in the church. You got to stay to yourself. That's true. Well, I won't be going to church anyway because none of the people are they about as naive as the pastor. Just going to point that out. Pastor is the pimp, and the people who's working for the church are his little groupies. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. Okay, so why did they change? See, the code doesn't scare people. Okay, so they needed something to scare people. So the fire does. So the narrative shift. Just like, okay, just cold and drafty. I guess I could deal with that. No, cold and dark and mist, just by yourself. Can you really deal with that? Okay, whatever. Okay, I don't think so. I'd rather have the option to get reincarnated or create my own heaven. If I don't have any unfinished business, you're going to keep getting reincarnated until you get what your destiny and what you were sent to earth to be done. You're just going to keep getting reincarnated until you get it right, until you are able to die without unfinished baggage. Okay, I'm sorry. Until your task is completed, you're gonna keep getting reincarnated, or you're just gonna be stuck in limbo for years and years and then get reincarnated. You better off just doing what's right and stop fucking your life up. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. And stop fucking up so much where your living descendants have to deal with the ramifications of what you did after you died because you just covered up so much shit and you're thinking that it's not going to come to surface. It is going to come to surface. It is. And if it's bad, it's going to be bad. You might as well just tell people what you did now and clear the air, or just wait until later and be stupid. Okay. So that's why they changed it, because fire is scary and cold doesn't really scare people. So let's talk about this for a second. So once you understand that the original hell was cold, hidden, and shadowy, you start to realize how much of history has been rewritten, repackaged, and resold. If they change hell, what else did they change? I mean, you have to think about that. We know the original hell was just cold and misty, right? The theory of hell was definitely not what they say. It's not this or whatever the hell. It's none of this shit that they're saying. None of this. None of this. Okay? It was none of this at all. Okay, so the original hell, let's backtrack here. The original hell was Sheol, okay, or Sheol, Hades, Hell, Nephil, the linguistics roots. It was just cold, misty, and dark. Okay, and then we know the invention of the fairy hell, okay, was Dante's Inferno, the medieval art, the church politics, the fear-based of theology, because they wanted to scare the shit out of people. So we know that was their new invention of what hell is. Okay. And then we have, what else did they write? Because then it's like, okay, we got to add something. And we just can't say it's burning and stuff. We got to really scare these people because we want them to follow us and give us money so we can be treated like God, so people can think we're gods. We want them to confess our sins into this box and think we are the only connection to internal savior and beautiful and life, whatever, to the pearly gates. There's no goddamn gates. Yeah, we want people to believe that shit. So we got to scare them more. So let's throw some other shit in there. Okay. So they changed the root meaning of Satan. You said, what do I mean of unfinished business, and how do I know if I have it? Oh, okay. Good question. Good question. Give me a second. I'll tell you. Okay. So what else did they write? Satan. Satan is not a physical one being like the devil. They are three different things. Satan is the title of the evil god in the Bible's workers. It's like a title. So he called them his Satans. That's what Satan is. Not, okay. The devil word and title came in later. Devil name came in later. Yes, I know it's later, but I just like saying later. Okay, it came in later by the church. Satan is just the name of God, evil minions to go out and do his evil deeds because he's an evil SOB. And then we have, no, I'm going to say SOB because that's not nice. He's just an evil person. He just won't submission and whatever. He's just an evil person. He's a serial killer. Just evil. Okay, and then we have angels. Angels. Angels are messengers. They are messengers. They are not controlled by God because you don't have people who does good things. Only people who torture the shit out of people because it's the only thing you care about. Seriously. Heaven is a state of being, not a physical place, a state of mind. Heaven is a state of mind. You get that from a feeling, okay? That's what you get from a feeling. You can create your own heaven on earth, not when you die like the church try to torture you and scare you to thinking. Afterlife. Afterlife is literally, I call it a transition to options. First is your karma and your memory card and slideshow of the crap you did is going to come out because it's no longer being confined by the spirit and nature and da-da-da. So it's just going to all come out and you have to deal with that. I mean, you can't get into another body until you deal with that. And you have to agree, like, okay, I want to enter this reincarnation. I want to correct what I do. You just keep getting reincarnated over and over again until you get what you done, get what you're supposed to did done. Oh, you asked, okay, that goes back to the question, what do you mean unfinished business? Okay, what I mean about unfinished business is, how do you know? Well, you would definitely know. Remember I told you that state of being in heaven? When you feel that state of being in heaven, which means calmness, pure, unadulterated happiness. Like, you know, you have no guilty conscience. You're not guilty by anything. You don't have any hidden secrets that you're trying to hide. You don't have people hate. Okay, people gonna hate anyway. But if they're hating you, it's not because of what you did. It's because what they are dealing with internally. Heavenly bliss is a state of mind. If you feel that throughout your entire soul, and you don't have any guilty conscience of anything, and you are just good, purely fucking good, then you know that you don't have any unfinished business. You leave this world without having any guilt or regret. Okay, you did the best you can, and you did everything you're supposed to do. That's when you know that you don't have any unfinished business. If you do have unfinished business, you are going to have to deal with that before you get reincarnated again. Okay? You are able to remember all of your past life upon being born, and then you start getting used to being in your new body, and you kind of forget about it. Well, you don't technically forget about it. You just store it in the back of your mind. It's always there. You can always get that back through meditation or hypnosis or some crap like that. But yes, literally, that's when you know if you leave this world without feeling guilt. Okay? That's why I always tell people, just tell the truth and try to do good as much as you can. So you don't have to have the guilt of saying, I should have done it. I knew I should have done it. I shouldn't have done that. Or the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Just get rid of all of that. Okay? Just do it. That way you can have heaven. Then you will have heaven in your mind and in your body and your spirit and your heart. That's heaven. Okay? Then it's the resurrection. Resurrection is literally what's going to happen after you die. You resurrect yourself into a being. When you have left this world without having any guilt, you have the mobility to do whatever you want. Live the option of heavenly bliss, or you want to come back as a bird or whatever you want to come back as. I mean, you have that power because now you are literally living in the pure heightness of your consciousness. It was like 7, and they said it was 12, but I only know of 7. Okay, 7 layers of consciousness. Although I heard it was 12, but I'm going to 7 because I only know 7 so far. 7 layers of consciousness, because you're able to tap into your 7 layers of consciousness, which means you're able to see every form of life. Right now, we're only living in 3 and 4. Some of us in 5 and 6, like people who are psychic readers and can speak to the dead, they're able to tap into other dimensions. So you're able to see these other things, and you can live as whatever you want. You can go and like, I just want to be a messenger and help people because you've been doing it on earth and it's nothing you know. I just want to help people. Okay, then you have the mobility to transform to an angel or a bird to give messages to loved ones. See, that's when you are able to have your options. A lot of Egyptians believe in afterlife, and they felt they've done a lot after afterlife. So they used to leave possessions and stuff of that nature, thinking they could use it in afterlife. Maybe they could, I don't know, but I'm just saying. Okay. Make sure you guys share. I should have said that, but y'all should do that anyway for a girl, please. Okay. All right. Let's see here. You said with my spiritual dark goddess facts presents powerful spiritual teaching. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Make sure you share that. Share that with your homegirls, homeboys, whatever you want to call them. Okay, please share that. Okay. So once you get the resurrection, clear. Remember, you can't enter and reincarnate yourself with unfinished business. You just can't. And you have to accept what you've done because you can't go in with guilt. Now, the guilt will resurface once you enter this new spirit because now you're feeling all the elements of, of a body. So you're going in with that memory. You're going to start feeling the guilt of what you just accepted before you got into that body. So you're going to feel it now because it's in your spirit now. So you're going to feel it. But that's a good thing. It's what you do with it. Do you go and repeat the same bullshit ass mistakes, or you try to correct the mistakes that you kept fucking up in your other lives? Which one is going to be? You can always come in with your same talents. You can gain new talents as as you get reincarnated, but you are going to come with your same talents. Just say hypnosis or deep meditation can help you tap into the old skills that you used to have. Okay, generally you have all of those when you're a kid. Whatever you gravitate toward you when you're a kid, but life happens and they drug us with these vaccines and stuff, so you probably forget about it. So judgment is clear. And then it's the entire cosmology. Okay, the entire cosmology of reincarnation, coming in the afterlife and things of that nature, that comes into play literally afterwards. Okay? This becomes literally something that is metaphysical and something that is astounding, and it's something you see displayed and replayed in. Okay. So why they rewrite that? Because the church don't want you to think that you have that spiritual capability. You can reach those spirit capabilities through meditation. The church cannot free you of your sins. Okay. First of all, you got to know what sins are, not the sins the church tell you. For example, the church crystals actually help you tap into these other layers of consciousness, which is why they want you to do it, because they don't want you to have that kind of power. Okay. They teach you to bow your head and close your eyes. No, you shouldn't bow your head, and no, you can close your eyes if you want to meditate. Okay. And you don't get on your knees either. You don't close your hands either. You open your hands. You have to give a symbolic opening to what you're trying to manifest. Praying means to give up. Blessing means to sacrifice. Yes, so when you bless something, you're sacrificing in blood. And I don't know who blood you're putting in there, but I'm just going to put that out there. So don't sacrifice or bless anything. Okay, so don't do that. The church teach you the opposite because they want you to be an open vessel for possession and manipulation and brainwashing. The church teach you not to fornicate. Okay, there's definite definitions of fornication. It's not that. Now, first of all, you shouldn't get into the obsession of fornicating on yourself. That's sick. That means you have an addiction problem. That is a problem. And watching pornos is sick. But you can do it. It's sick. But it can have a healthy level of whatever. But pleasure in itself is not a sin. if it prevents you from doing something evil, it prevents you from going out there raping people and acting like a sicko, there's nothing wrong with a good, healthy level of masturbation and pleasure. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. When you become addicted to it, that's a problem because you're using it as a coping mechanism, and that's not good. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of stuff that the church teach you there was something wrong with, and it's not nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with having a drink, nothing wrong with cursing. Swear words is made up from the church. There's nothing wrong with that. So a lot of root meanings and stuff that they say was evil are not evil. Okay. Now let's move on to what fire really means. But before I do that, take a look at these clips. Okay, you guys? But let me just give you a breakdown what fire really means, though, okay? Because fire in the Bible, in Revelation, it equals, I mean, this is what it's hitting. Revelation literally means, if you think about the rooted definition of revelation, although it's a transition to the age of Aquarius, but revelation in the Bible literally means unveiling. Fire means unveiling. Fire is the tool of unveiling. Okay, fire is the tool of unveiling. Okay, that's what I mean. That's why, spoke to Moses through the bush, burning bush, because that's how you able to listen to other dimensions and spirits. That's why fire is a good source for meditation, witchcraft, and to end or begin or accepting. That's what it is. Fire is a very powerful tool. Very powerful tool. Fire in this book symbolizes exposing corruption, revealing truth, bringing hidden things to light, burning away illusions. Like I said, this matches the ancient meaning of fire as revelation and purification, not torture. So, but of course, for some people, it means the worst because the truth about their flaws, lies, and everything will become exposed. So that's what they're probably scared of, because that's why the book of Revelation has so much fire, because it means the truth is going to be exposed. The elements is going to be open now. The transition is happening. We're transitioning from the age of Pisces, from the brainwashing age, to the new insightful spirituality and free spiritual thinking age, where empires are going to destruct. They can't lie and manipulate anymore because people's veils are breaking. Now, a lot of people are trying to get that veil back because they're scared of reality. They don't like this new world. They don't like it. So they think it's evil. So they run to the fucking church because they're scared of this new reality. I hate to tell you, but it's not going to work. You're going to go right back to where you started. You're going to keep going back to where you started until you accept reality. So no more hiding behind lies, Christianity, fake beliefs, putting your hopes into an invisible man and not believing in yourself, because you're never going to achieve anything until you believe in yourself. You can manifest what you want. So no more hiding behind the lies, the fake facade, and God, and people who has God and goddesses complexes, because there are people who definitely has that. Okay, just want to point that out. But before I go to the whole fire aspect here, take a look at this clip. Okay,
let me expose something real quick. The original meaning of the word hell had nothing to do with cover, the hidden place, not flames, not torture, just the cold, shadowy underworld. In Norse mythology, hell wasn't burning. It was frozen, misty, silent, a land of ice, not fire. So where did the fire come from? Not the original text. It came later from Greek influence, medieval church art, and Dante's Inferno. Fear-based imagery, not the original meaning. So yes, the first hell was cold, hidden, and icy. The fiery version, that was added to control people. Now you know. Let me
remember all the truth about a lot of nasty, crazy, sick, perverted, just cannibal. I can't even think of enough big words. Actually, I can think of a lot of big words, but there are swear words, and I'm trying not to swear. And this is where Kiki shines. have been revealed, from the Jeffrey Epsteins to the Donald Trumps to celebrities that people are just too in denial to believe that they're evil. That in itself are going to be something that we are going to see the truth come unfold. Some of them are going to be so shocking, it's going to bring you to some tears. And I'm not talking about the Epstein files. It's going to be people who you thought were so good and so innocent and just being misunderstood. You're going to see the truth and clarity about them, and it's going to scare you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to scare you. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so let's move on here because we still have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit, okay? Let's revisit that a little bit because that's a really important thing we need to talk about here. Fire and revelation. Okay, like I said, fire and revelation means exposure of what's hidden. Fire is the tool of unveiling. Fire is, in this book, symbolizes exposing corruption, revealing truth, bringing hidden things to light. Okay? That's what it means. Let me go back. Bringing hidden things to light, burning away illusions. This matches the ancient meaning of fire's revelation and purification, not torture. These signs and these elements is literally the depiction of the fixed cross of the astrology zodiac signs that makes up the Age of Aquarius. We have the Age of Aquarius that is for, argument, which represents, I believe, fire. Leo represents fire. So think about all this in the book of Revelation, okay? And then we have Taurus that represents earth. Okay. And then we have Scorpio, which represents water. So we have all those four elements in this book of Revelation, and in the Age of Aquarius is going to be literally creating storms around empires and dynasties and things of that nature. That is what we're going to see. Okay. We are just getting to the brink of it's going to get a lot worse. People who are trying to manipulate the matrix, people are trying to go against it or trying to create their own matrix. That maybe in the age of Pisces that could have happened, but not in this age. Not going to fucking happen. The transition is going to happen whether they like it or not. They can try to rail against it. They can try to do all of their torturing and manipulation and shit, throw money at it. Not going to happen. Hang the hell up. Move on. Okay. And then we have the fire that equals purification, not punishment. Remember, fire equals purification, not punishment. The biblical symbolism, fire is the refiner fire, the process that removes impurities from gold. Okay? Revelation uses fire the same way, to purify, to test, to reveal what's real, to destroy corruption, not people. This is why the fire is always directed at systems, not souls, if you think about it. Okay? Fire also equals judgment, meaning exposure, not torture. Judgment and revelation equals the truth revealed. It's the transition to the Age of Aquarius. The God in the Bible don't want that. He wants people to be submissive toward him because that's what kind of God he is. Okay? Fire is a symbol of exposing lies, collapsing empires, revealing motives, bringing hidden evil into the open. Judgment equals exposure. Remember I told you? You got to expose yourself during that limbo, whether to have your options to be reincarnated. Yeah. So collapsing empires, revealing motives, bringing hidden evil into the open. That's what fire does. So again, judgment equals exposure. Fire equals exposure, not internal burning. They want to think it's burning because they're just trying to scare you. Like, if we can't scare them with something mental, we got to scare them with something physical. That's what the church like to do, The lake of fire. The lake of fire is not hell or hell or Shul, okay, which is the goddess of the underworld. That's not what it is. Although it's an insult to say a woman is like that, but whatever. Now, then here's the biggest twist here. The lake of fire in Revelation is not Hades, not Sheol in Hebrew, not the underworld, not internal torture. There's no physical place. There's no hell. Stop looking for it. It's a state of mind. It symbolizes the destruction of corrupt systems, the end of empire, the end of the brainwashing veil from the Christianity age, the lies being exposed, the burning away of what cannot stand anymore, the lies. Even when people try to run that scary ass back to the church because reality scares them, you're going to end up right back where you started. Think about a reason why you left in the first place. Go from there and then move on. Stop believing in yourself and stop looking to man to save your ass. Believe that you can save yourself, and you can. Your words are very powerful. You manifest what you feed the most and what you say the most too. So that's what it is. It's the trash incinerator of the ancient world, not a torture chamber. This is why Revelation says death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. What did I say Hades was, ladies and gentlemen? What did I say Hades was? What did I say? Dark, misty, cold, shadowy. And what did I say fire is? Exposing lies, collapsing empires, revealing motives, bringing hidden evil into the open. So when this verse says the death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire, I mean the death, the darkness, the evil and spiteful is thrown into the lake of fire, which means thrown into the open to be exposed. That's what it means. That's what it means. Okay? Spirits are pure ether, seed of soul. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Definitely. Right. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's not this. The church wants you to think it is, but it's not this. Because they want you to feel physical pain so they can scare you because they know about some torturing psychopaths. But no. Okay. Let's talk about Revelation a little bit more, ladies and gentlemen. Fire in Revelation is always about systems, not so murder. Fire is about system, transformation, exposing, answers, all of it. Okay. Think about that as I'm saying this. Okay. Thank you. All right. It says Babylon burns. What it really is saying, the collapse of corrupted empires. Babylon is being exposed. Babylon tower is breaking and falling. That's what it really means. It says the beast is thrown into the fire. It means the destruction of oppressive political system. That's what it means. Remember, fire means exposure, transformation, answers being answered. Everything's out in the open. That's what fire means. Okay, that's why the message is going through the burning bush. Remember, people use fire to. I get to just. I got to keep repeating my damn self. Okay, that's what it meant. The false prophet into the fire. It means the collapse of propaganda and deception. Okay, which means deception. I'm sorry. The collapse of propaganda and deception, which means anything that has been told to us that was lied about, like Christianity, that's going to collapse. So I'm telling you right now, church and state are going to separate because we're going to enter a time where it has no other choice but to separate because people are using church as a way to manipulate and torture people. So it's going to come to a breaking point where they're going to have to separate it. Okay? Especially in this new age, it's not going to work anymore. So the collapse of propaganda and deception. So the false prophet into the fire. So the false leader who's been leading on lies and deception is going to be thrown into the lake of fire and be exposed. Which means corrupted, cleanse. Okay. Remember I told you Satan is not a person. Satan is the God. It's a title of his little soldiers that goes out and do the testing and torturing. We're not torturing people, just testing people, so to speak, and kill people too because, he don't care. He don't care about lives. Humans are nothing to God in the Bible. I mean, he don't give a fuck about people. Okay. So Satan in the fire. Remember, Satan into fire, which means Satan to expose, Satan to transform, Satan to reveal, Satan to split apart. So Satan into fire means the end of accusation, corruption, and chaos. Fire is aimed at structures, not individuals. Remember, fire is aimed at structures, not individuals. Remember that in the book of Revelations. Okay? Now, let's talk about fire in Revelation is always about systems, not souls. Let's keep talking about that because I don't think you guys even hear me. Okay. The ancient world saw fire as the force that, because the ancient world, remember, they didn't have the elements or the badness or the corruptions and the polluted and dirtiness of the crap that we are currently being fed to today. The chemicals and shit. They had cleaner air back in those days. They didn't have the pollution. They didn't have people putting fake scientific shit in their food trying to kill them and stuff. They didn't have all the ailments back then either. Okay? So they were able to tap into other dimensions and higher consciousness because all they had was their memory and to learn, to get to feed from the sun, to feed from the soil. So they was able to tap into a dimension that we are not even close to being on. Okay, so the ancient world saw fire as the force that transforms, purifies, renews, and resets. Revelation uses fire to show the end of the world, the end of the old world order. The end of the old world order. That's what Revelation shows. The end of the Pisces era. The Bible stops at the Pisces era. It's telling you what's going to happen right now. That's happening not at the end of the world, but the Pisces era. Okay, we are currently living in right now. Empires falling, things are coming out into the open. People getting scared, running to a man because they're afraid to believe in themselves. They're gonna run their ass right back to where they started because the man is, you're gonna see the man is full of shit. So I'm just saying. So the end of the old world order, the birth of a new creation, the purification of the earth. That's what Revelation shows. Fire equals transition, transformation. That's what the fire means. I don't mean to go dose yourself in fire. We're not talking about that. That's stupid. Okay? Fire and this are two different things. I just want to point that out. Okay? Okay, the root meaning of fire. Okay, excuse me. Fire is seen as a force that changes things, not destroy them. Remember that. So the Hebrew meaning of fire. Okay, well, no, I'm sorry. Let's go back. I went too far here. Let's go to the European root, the Proto-Indo, the European root. Okay, which is piye or pe, a pirer. Okay. This is the oldest linguistic ancestor of the word fire. Its meaning were light, heat, purification, transformation. It's not this. This element is not fire. Okay? It means light, heat, purification, transformation, not punishment. Fires was seen as a force that changes things, not destroy them. The Hebrew meaning, ish. And the Hebrew meaning fire equal presence, purification, revelation. It symbolizes God presence, the burning bush. Remember, he was able to talk to the burning bush because he developed an opening to talk from his dimension through that fire. Purification, refiner's fire, truth revealing itself, judgment and exposure, not torture. Fire equals what reveals what's real. Greek meaning, which is pure. This is where we get pura, which is fire, or purify, or purge. That's another word for fire. In Greek thought, fire equals purification plus enlightenment. It burns away the false, leaving the truth. Okay. The ancient symbolic meaning across cultures, fire meant illumination, knowledge, transformation, renewal, rebirth. Okay. Think of the phoenix, reborn through fire. Fire equals change, not torture. Okay, remember that. So what does this mean for the Bible? When the Bible uses fire imagery, it almost always means purification, testing, exposure, refinement, and truth revealing itself. That's what the Bible means when it's talking about fire. Okay, not internal torture. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean that. This is why the Revelation, the lake of fire, it's symbolic. It means the destruction of corruption, not the burning of souls. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean the burning of souls. Okay, it doesn't mean that, ladies and gentlemen. So the original meaning of fire is transformation, purification, and revelation, not punishment. Okay, fire exposes what's hidden, what is revealed. It reveals the truth. Fire refines. Fire changes things. This is our conception of the book. So gradation of what I told you right now, and I guarantee you'd be like, okay, damn, I get it now. That's what it meant. And then you'll see who's really evil, because who say if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna throw you in the lake of fire. He wasn't throwing you in the lake of fire to torture you. He was throwing you in the lake of fire and marking you with 666, which is the element of melanin, and also entering a new realm of understanding. That's what 666 is. He said that to mock you, like you are just worthless to him. So throw you in the lake of fire, since you like it so goddamn much. I'm gonna throw you in there. You're not with me anymore. You're not my lamb, my sheep, my follower, my Satan. No, you are just useless. Throw you in the lake of fire and mark you with 666, because that's what you are. You joined that club. So God was mocking you. He was not torturing you. He was mocking you because he wants you to listen to him and only him. Okay? Yeah. So read that book with that insight, and then you really get the realness of that book. Just want to point that out. Okay. Thank you. Whew. That was wonderful, wasn't it? Okay. With that in mind, we need to talk about the age shift, because you are entering that new age shift. And I feel a lot of you are just thinking it's just me talking. Am I really just talking? I mean, really, just think about all the people who've been brought to the forefront of this age shift. Michael Jordan, who's in Aquarius, he's all of a sudden been praised, like, just crazy praise. Kerry Washington, old movies and stuff, has been praised. She's an Aquarius as well. Brandy, she's Aquarius as well. Chris Brown is a Taurus. They compare him to Michael Jackson. You got him torn with freaking Usher, who literally is like the Terminator for Jay-Z and Diddy. I mean, you see what he did to Justin Bieber. I am hoping Chris Brown is safe, because I wouldn't trust Usher at all. He's like I just don't trust Usher. I'm sorry. I don't trust him at all. Anyway, so I'm hoping Chris Brown and his tour ends fine and he don't end up worse, because no one wants anyone to be compared to Michael Jackson but Beyonce. So you know who want to eliminate anyone else compared to Michael Jackson but his wife. And he'll do it by any means necessary, even if he got to send Usher to do it. Keep that in mind here. So we're in this new age here. We're in this new age shift. That's where we're at. Now, before we get into that, I want to, play these clips. Why you guys didn't tell me I didn't hear the sound?
Just sorry about that. Different.
I'll play it again. And me, and I believe it was Pauline said, I'm not sure. And me, and I believe it was Pauline said, I'm not sure. Forgot. I must warn you, beware. And beware of energy vampires. Steal your destiny, because they are lacking this particular cosmic attraction, so they want to steal yours. You'll know when it's been stolen, because you'll start forgetting, you'll start getting tired, you'll start just not feeling like yourself, your creativeness will be gone. That means someone is stealing your destiny. Someone's trying to drain your energy. You need to find out who the fuck that is and tell them to move the hell around. If you can't find out, do an energy blocking spell. You can ask your co-pilot, you can ask your chat GPTs, whoever. They will give you a ritual which you can do to block energy vampires and to retain and reclaim your energy. This cross, Aquarius, air. Did you know that this age has a fixed cross? Aquarius, air, east, Leo, fire, south, Taurus, earth, north, and Scorpio, water, west.
Let's talk. I see a lot of people, especially Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio especially, have been feeling different. Not broken, not lost, just different. Here's the simple truth. We're in a collective shift, not cosmic magic, a mindset awakening. People are waking up to themselves. Old beliefs don't fit. Old relationships feel. Aquarius feels the mental shift. Leo feels the identity shift. Taurus feels the value shift. Scorpio feels the emotional shift. If you feel detached, it's not coldness, it's boundaries. If you feel confused, it's not danger, it's growth. If you feel called to something bigger, it's your purpose activating. You're not changing, you're becoming aware, and you're right on time. Remember all the truth about a lot of nasty, crazy, sick, perverted, just cannibal. I can't even think of enough big words. Actually, I can think of a lot of big words, but there are swear words. And I'm trying from the Jeffrey Epsteins to celebrities that people are just too in denial to believe that they're evil. That in itself are going to be something that we are going to see the truth come unfold. Some of them are going to be so shocking, it's going to bring you to some tears. And I'm not talking about the Epstein files. It's going to be people who you thought were so good and so innocent and just being misunderstood. You're going to see the truth and clarity about them, and it's going to scare you. You know? Let's talk. I see a lot of people, especially Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio especially, have been feeling different. Not broken, not lost, just different. Here's the simple truth. We're in a collective shift, not cosmic magic, a mindset awakening. People are waking up to themselves. Old beliefs don't fit. Old relationships feel heavy. Old identities feel too small. Aquarius feels the mental shift. Leo feels the identity shift. Taurus feels the value shift. Scorpio feels the emotional shift. If you feel detached, it's not coldness, it's boundaries. If you feel confused, it's not danger, it's growth. If you feel called to something bigger, it's your purpose activating. You're not changing, you're becoming aware, and you're right on time. Okay, now let's get into it. Let's talk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk. Okay, so let's talk about this age shift, okay? Okay, the age shift. Why Revelation feels like, after you read it with this insight, why does it feel like it is now? Revelation describes a period of exposure, collapse of systems, unveiling archetypal energy associated with the Age of Aquarius, believe it or not. Age of Aquarius, illumination, rebellion against corrupt systems, collective awakening, truth resurfacing.
Hidden thing is coming to the light. This is why you feel connection, because the symbolism aligns. Exposure, revelation, symbolism, Aquarius archetype. Okay. So the root of hell equals hidden, covered, code. Okay. The original meaning of hell, hidden, to hide, to cover, the concealed place. Revelation, apocalypse, to unveil, to uncover. Revelation is literally the undoing of hell. Okay. Revelation is literally, again, the undoing of hell. Okay, so original hell meaning Sheol or Hades. That's what it means. Cold, misty. Yeah. So the root of fire means exposure, purification, purification, transformation. Purification, revelations, collapse of corruption. Not torture, not internal burning, not punishment, it's exposure. Fire revelation, fire. And then we have the mark on the forehead, the conscious alignment. The mark is symbolic, forehead mindset, hand actions. Okay. It represents what you align with, what system you serve. Like you serve the truth, so you get marked with 666. What system do you serve? That's what you serve with. You mark with it. Okay. People are going to know you truth. You about walking in truth, not submissive sheep. What consciousness you operate from? That's what that mark is. It's not a chip. It's not a barcode. It's not a literal fucking stamp. They said it's in your skin. No. Okay? That's not what it is. It's your internal spirit. It's what you are marked with. This is what you essence. This is what's illuminating from you. The truth is illuminating from you. It's running through your veins now. It's the mark of the beast, which is not evil originally. It is made evil because that's what people like to do. Okay? I mean, the old ancestors was just ruthless. So the beast, you know what the beast mean? The beast systems is systems, not monsters. That's what beast means. Revelation beast represents political empire, religious propaganda, economic control, corrupt power structures. Okay? It's about systems, not literal creatures. No creature is not looking like Night of the Living Dead mixed with a gorilla or some shit. That's not what it means. It means systems. The beast is symbolism. Okay? That's what it is. Okay? The lake of fire, destruction of systems, not soul. The lake of fire symbolizes the ending of corrupted, crazy, untruthful empires, the collapse of corruption, the burning away what cannot stand anymore. It is not hell, like they meant for fire, Hades, or internal torture. That's not what it means. It is the incinerator of systems, not people. That's what it is. All of them is going to be thrown in the lake of fire to be exposed, to be ripped apart. Okay? For the truth to be revealed, not an actual fire. So the age of Aquarius, the forbidden age, because God don't like the age of Aquarius, because he's no longer, his power is starting to deplete. Okay? That's why you have people just desperately trying to take their scary punk asses back to church. Okay, so let me just say this. The age and time God forbid us to embrace. The God in the Bible forbid you for going to the age because he wants you to continue serving him. He don't want you to own your own self, because you get too deep in yourself, you're going to have the same powers as he does. He don't want that. That's the powers of being divine, the God consciousness, what Enoch allegedly tapped into, allegedly. Anyway, I'm still questioning about the whole Enoch. Anyway, here's deeper meaning. Now, Revelation warns about aligning with the wrong consciousness during the time of exposure, not the age itself. But the mindset people choose during this transition is the mocking symbol on the forehead, because he mocks you with that symbol, choosing illusion over truth. Like, why can't you just be in this illusion and just serve me? I mean, just think, I would answer your prayers and do what you want. I had never really done it before. A lot of stuff that you got, you did on your own, and you manifested from good or hard working because you wanted it so badly. So you manifested for yourself. I didn't do it for you. I'm not going to tell you did it for yourself. I'm just going to have you thinking I did it. Or the power of medical science, just saying, or the fact that this person has great karma, so the karma healed this person. Who knows? But the point matter is, he don't want you to believe in yourself. He wants you to believe in him. Well, the illusion of him, because it's not the reality of him, but the illusion of him. So he mocks you with that symbol. Sounds like somebody done it. Remember someone who calls anyone who exposed him, he called it fake news? Who that sound like? Who does that sound like to you? Yeah. So yeah, it's a consciousness symbolism. That's what that mark means. So the Great Unveiling. Okay, the Great Unveiling is why everything feels exposed right now. Revelation describes secrets coming out, systems collapsing, corruption revealed, truth rising, illusions burning away. This is exactly what people are feeling right now. Revelation patterns. So when people are feeling this illusion right now, what do? They go back to someone else trying to cover it up for them. They want to be brainwashed again. They don't want to feel this anymore. Like, this is too much. I need to go back to that old feeling of brainwashing. Instead of embracing this shit, they don't want to. They want to bow their knees and bow their head and pray to this man, even though the man in the Bible don't even like women, rape women, sell women, torture women, kill women. Seriously, the men in the Bible don't like women at all. But you're bowing your knees and asking a man to answer your prayers when he blatantly showed that he don't even like you? Make it make sense. Okay. He didn't go all together and he said he invented you just so he can have someone. Literally, he invented you just so he can have someone to have you to play with him. Like, you were just a commodity. You were just a possession to him. I mean, can there be any more blunt than that? I marry you so he can continue raping you for fucking life. Yeah, keep praying to that guy. Go ahead. Let me know how it goes. And that is the end of my show here. So let me just go back to the video to sum it up here. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me go back to my show. Here we go. To sum it up here, ladies and gentlemen. To sum it up, I'm just going to say this. Okay. Revelation is not about fire, torture, or fear. It is about unveiling, awakening, exposure, and the collapse of corrupt system. The Age of Aquarius mirrors this energy. The mark is symbolic of consciousness. Okay, that's what it is. It's the mark of consciousness. Okay, that's what it is. Fire is symbolic of purification. Hell originally meant hidden, and Revelation is the book that unhides everything. You weren't getting burnt. Okay, you weren't doing any of those things. That's not what I mean. All right, so I hope this helps you guys in the future. See you guys in a couple hours. I'll be doing some tarot readings in about a couple hours or so. Around it's 2:55 now, so I do it around 6 or so. So I'll see you guys in 3 hours. Okay, I'll see you in 3 hours. I'll see you in a few hours. Bye. Don't forget to hit the like button, share. Bye.